What up, you guys? Welcome back to Feral Publications YouTube channel. My name is Rich. Daily upload, so I opened up my comic book retail shop, which now is looking a little more daunting because today I want to talk about the news. Bleeding Cool News and CBR Comic Book Resource both have an article, because I heard about this yesterday, but I kind of wanted to wait until I was sure that this is the news. But it looks like Alliance Entertainment has backed out of the deal in purchasing Diamond Distribution. No one really knows why, because Alliance Entertainment hasn't fully stated why they're not going to go through with that purchase. But Diamond Distribution, to begin with, has always been a very dubious kind of character in the comic book industry. I don't think that they're a very ethical company. I know they're a privately held company, so there's a lot about them that we don't know and they haven't had to disclose. But now during the bankruptcy and stuff like that, we've gotten a closer look inside. For the most part, currently right now, we don't know what's going on, other than Diamond Distribution wanted to go to Universal LLC, and I think it was Populum. It looks like they were the second runner-ups to the bidding process of the bankruptcy. So now that Alliance Entertainment won't be going through with the purchase, I think it's safe to assume that they might be the ones getting Diamond Distribution, which is what Diamond Distribution wanted. But what does that mean for the comic book retail spaces? No one really knows. I don't think that's going to be a good mix. I really had high hopes for Alliance Entertainment when I started looking into them and what they do and what they are selling. I really thought that it would just open up the catalog for more of the things that I think should be in comic book stores. We don't know who it's going to now, but if we're to infer that Universal, Populum, and NECA and WizKids and all these other, tentacles are going to get on the comic book retail shops, I almost dare to say that I believe it's going to be really bad for comic book shops. I think they're going to end up pushing a lot of merchandise, a lot of collectibles the comic book shops don't want to carry. And I think they're going to have higher purchasing points. And so I think that it's not going to be a good mix, but time will tell. One thing I will say is that Lunar is starting to become more of a pool, because Lunar now has not only DC, but they also have Image. And so those are two big draws, and unless Disney, Penguin Random House, or whatever, whoever distributor they're using to get the Marvel comics out starts including other things, I can't imagine that to really start building up for them. I mean, Marvel's not really that big of a draw. I can't think of one Marvel title that's really called to me. Whereas for me personally, some of the comic book publishing companies that I enjoy were strictly on Diamond Distribution. So I'm waiting for them to get their act together. They cannot hold their breath forever waiting for this Diamond Distribution situation to figure itself out. They should be selling directly to consumers. I would be down for a D2C through a lot of these publishers. I mean, when I think of Fantagraphics, I buy directly from Fantagraphics all the time. I very rarely and randomly ask my comic book shop to order it for me. I literally just buy it from Fantagraphics because they have the apparatus to ship it directly to me. So I don't understand why a lot of these comic book shops aren't doing it. But I wonder how many of these comic book publishers as well, this is just me thinking on the fly, but have you guys ever seen the Amazon fulfillment kind of situation where yeah, you have it, you buy it, you own it, but you hand over the title to Amazon and Amazon will keep it in their warehouse and ship it for you, right? But you have to send a certain amount, a certain quantity of it. I wonder how many of these comic book publishers were doing that. They were basically, yes, creating the creative, having them made, but then having them shipped straight to Diamond Distribution's warehouse. And so they don't have a place to house these comics. I'm pretty sure that's what it is, but I don't know enough about this whole model. Again, Diamond Distribution never had to really disclose any of its personal information because it's a privately held company. And because it hasn't, we don't really know how it's worked. But I'm sure that now, as the wheels start to turn, we're going to start seeing more and more information about Diamond Distribution, and I'm here for it. But interesting times for sure. I definitely can't wait to see what ends up happening with the comic book industry. It definitely looks like Lunar's going to take the lead now that they're host of DC Comics as well as Image Comics, two of the three biggest comic book publishing companies around. But again, I'm sure there's a story there that we'll hear eventually. But alright guys, as always, there will be a link in the show notes to feralpublication.com where you guys can get some of the zines, buttons, stickers, and t-shirts that we make. Please like, share, subscribe, and let people know what we're up to. Lates.